Hi, my name's Sergio. You can follow me on Instagram at Sergio Guitarist, or like and subscribe to this content to receive more lessons from this channel. So what is a chromatic scale? Basically, a chromatic scale is a 12-note scale that involves all the notes in the octave. That's 12 notes because we're including natural notes and also accidental sharps and flats. So how would we play that on a guitar? Well, I assume a lot of you probably already have done this, but just to go over the basics, we could start on the first string open and play every fret till we get to the 12th fret. So let's try that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go 5th fret, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we go back. That would be the easiest way to do a chromatic scale, focusing on playing every single note between the open and the 12th fret, the octave, which is E to E. Now, of course, to make it more efficient, we're going to play in 3 positions as opposed to just playing with 1 finger, which is not very effective and efficient way of playing. So start in 1st position, move to 5th position, 5th fret, 9th position, and work our way backwards. Now, in order to do this, you'll need to be at an intermediate level ability. Oftentimes I give this scale to students who have reached sort of intermediate levels, technical skills, because initially a beginner student won't be able to necessarily have the coordination with the 3rd and 4th fingers, but also that shift between positions is also a little bit of more of an advanced technique. So again, if you're struggling with this idea, you might want to start with some more basics. You could try my essential data drills, also available on this channel. So there's the chromatic scale. Chroma, the word chroma, chromatic, comes from the Latin and the Greek, meaning color, but generally chromaticism is alluding to chromatic patterns, which are semitone patterns, patterns which have a densely semitone patterns. And on guitar, it's moving by fret. We often find it in romantic music, we often find it in jazz, but also a lot of world music has chromaticism as well. So another way to play the chromatic scale is to start it on a lower string, and we're going to get a bit more of a run, probably 2 octaves now. If we start, say, on the low E string, you can start this scale and do it exactly the same, moving up the fretboard. And again, it's good practice to play on any of these strings. Start on any of these strings and work your way up to the 12th fret. So each of these strings has its corresponding 12th fret, which is the octave. That's another way to do it. So pick a string, work your way up the chromatic scale on that string. Get to know that string's how it feels in the different positions. But another way we could do it is start on the low E, work our way up to the 4th fret, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jump to the next string. So the 5th string is the A, so we're going to play open, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. When you get to that string, the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, we then jump to the next string. So on the 3rd string, don't play the 4 because that's the same as the next open string, that's the B. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can keep on going as we did at the start, along the string, or just work your way backwards. 3. So you can see that what's required is a bit of a stretch, your fingers spread out really well, a low thumb, because if you have a high thumb, you're going to struggle with bringing those 3rd and 4th fingers up. And also just keep in mind what the fingers are doing when they're not playing. So in other words, just be careful that the hand doesn't move down, because that's going to create problems when you're trying to move your way back up to those lower 3rd and 4th finger positions. So if you can get to the point where you can play this smoothly in time with a consistent tone, then you're doing really well. If you'd like to go a little bit further with this scale, you can also practice it in speed bursts and basically playing groups of notes. For example, 2 quick notes at a time, or 3 quick notes, or 4 quick notes. And you can keep on going, 5, 6, and slowly build up your dictionary of scale runs. Basically, you're building up speed, building up bursts, building up your coordination. It's going to be tricky at the start. It's going to be hard to get those notes to get it really quick, and it's going to help you focus on the coordination between these 2 fingers and these 4 fingers. If you're doing with a pick, it also works really well just to do a down-up sort of thing. And there's heaps of chromatic patterns for electric guitarists. For classical and nylon playing, this is really a really good scale to work up coordination and stretch, independence, strength. So that's the way that I approach the chromatic scale, and I teach my students at the intermediate level to start playing that scale, because it really helps you develop all the fingers, not just a couple of them. Most scales don't utilize all the fingers all the time, except the chromatic scale. Do you have a way that you practice the chromatic scale? Have you got your own way of approaching a chromatic pattern on the nylon and the classical guitar? Let me know in the comments, and I'd be curious to see how other people do it. That's the way I approach it, and I hope that you get some value out of using the scale in this way. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. There's the chromatic scale for guitarists. I'll see you next time.